There's no blueprint on how to beat me.
They got an ad for him.
Joe Louis had come out of retirement to fight Rocky Marciano. The man was 76 years old.
Your biggest payday is facing me. Without me, you're not getting shit.
One down, one to go.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Allow me to demonstrate the skill of Shaolin, the special technique of shadow boxing.
Now that was a great boxer.
Damn right.
Kill him, buddy. The head will die. I'll leave Frazier fight.
Jumping into it on this round, we have, of course, is it UFC 268? Is it 268?
I think it's 268.
Hold on, let me make sure.
You keep talking.
This weekend. Yep, I think so. Okay, so this weekend, another fight weekend. And in this weekend, we got another title on the line. And on this card, we have, of course, UFC 268, Usman versus, or the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman versus, it's Kamaru, I think. I think it's actually Kamaru, but anyways, that's how Bruce.
Kamaru Dean.
Yeah, that's how Bruce Buffer says it, though. Kamaru. Kamaru Usman versus, of course, Colby Covington. I don't know what his nickname is, but whatever.
MAGA?
Shit. Racism?
Kobe with a K?
Ku Klux Covington.
We call him Kobe Covington.
Ku Klux Covington.
Kobe Covington. Kobe Covington clan. That's it.
Yeah. All right. That's if you know the story, apparently, all of this is an act, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. I don't know.
It
doesn't matter. These are just jokes,
man. Oh, it's not an act. The Dana White be at rallies and stuff, bro. This ain't no act. This ain't no act, bro. That's who Kobe Covington is.
Dana White be at rallies?
Bro. You might need to YouTube some Dana White at these Trump rallies. I mean, your man Jorge Masvidal.
Trump rallies.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were saying Klan rally. I was like, shit, we got to watch something completely different. Shit.
Wait a minute, there's a difference. It's not the same. They got black people at the Trump rallies.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, moving forward. So we have UFC 268, Usman Covington 2. Now, this card boasts two champions that are going to exchange. They're going to meet up. We got, of course, Kamaru Usman versus, of course, Colby Covington. We got Rose Namajunas fighting or rematching against Zhang Wei Li. With Zhang Wei Li, and with Zhang Wei Li, what makes this awesome, what interesting is that Zhang Wei Li actually moved to a training camp, and she's actually training with Henry Cejudo, which is actually interesting in general. Then, of course, we got Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. We got Sean Strickland. I think Luke Rocco dropped off, so I'm not sure if that fight is still on. Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. Jermaine Durandamy versus Irene Aldana. And then we have Al Iaquinta versus Bobby Green. Pretty decent fight.
Bobby Green fighting Ally. Wow. Bobby
decent.
Green.
Pretty decent.
Good luck, Bobby Green.
Bobby Green, honestly, they match up very well. Bobby Green's actually it's going to be a very good, I think it's going to be a very good fight. They match very well. Bobby Green is he's a very skilled fighter who doesn't, maybe he needs to move up. I think those fighters are weird. Because Al Iaquinta obviously beat Kevin Lee twice. He obviously looked very good against Khabib. We didn't really see him. We haven't seen him since. So I don't really know what's really going on with him. So this is going to be a good fight to see. I think both of them, Bobby Green's boxing is actually very underrated. He's very good with making sure punches don't land clean. His
shoulder roll.
His shoulder roll. Thank you. I was looking for it. But his shoulder roll is actually pretty decent. It's actually pretty decent, especially for MMA. So obviously the main event, of course, is Kamaru versus Colby Covington 2, the rematch. And honestly speaking, well, I think we saw Colby fight Woodley, and ever since Woodley, we haven't really seen him essentially.
Nah.
So there's really no measuring stick, or there's really no thing that really we can really see that. There's nothing that we see here that really shows us if Colby is improved or not improved. Like, we don't really know, essentially. What we do know is that is probably one of the most challenging fights, I guess, for Kamaru, even though Kamaru never really seemed like he was in trouble, essentially. He never seemed like he rocked. It just seemed like it was like, hey, rock him, sock him, and whoever falls first, falls first. And Kamaru has a strong chin, and he didn't fall first, and he was just hitting him precisely. I think that Kamaru's jab is very underestimated. Yeah. Since then, what we have seen from Kamaru is that he has essentially, his striking has obviously improved. He has had since then, that's 3 finishes since then.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on a roll. He's been on a roll.
Yeah. So no, he stopped. He beat Masvidal wrestling, and then he knocked out Gilbert Burns. Then he knocked out Masvidal. So that's 2 stoppages right there with his hands. And at the end of the day, no matter what Colby Covington tries to say, Jorge Masvidal is a better striker than most of that division. I'd say. I mean, Leon Edwards actually looked pretty good against Nate Diaz, but he didn't look as good as Jorge Masvidal did. He didn't look as good as all. But I mean, we don't really know. We really don't know how good Colby Covington is, but Colby Covington has definitely campaigned for it. And it's interesting as of late, it seems that a lot of our constituents, or a lot of the pundits that talk about MMA have actually risen to sing the praises of Colby Covington, essentially. I think there was a recent interview with Kamaru Usman where he actually said that Colby Covington, I guess he was saying that he's not really a hater, and Colby Covington is probably one of the top best fighters in that. And I guess at some point you have to kind of give it to him. I mean, he beat everybody. I mean, he beat Woodley.
Bro, he still got the old belt on his shoulder. I mean, ain't nobody took it.
And he beat Woodley. He beat him. He beat Woodley.
And I will always give him that credit because he beat him first, right? Or he was not. Hold on, he didn't beat him first. Who was the
he beat him second?
Guy? Yeah, he beat him second. So he beat him before. He beat him before. We knew he was shot in the UFC.
Yeah.
And so
well, I mean,
he definitely gets credit.
Honestly, if Woodley would have stuck around and been the Woodley didn't have it in him to stick around and be the vanguard, because
and he was too short to move up.
Yeah, like if Woodley had stuck around and been the vanguard, I don't really think besides Gilbert and the rest of them, I really don't think everybody else, I don't think they beat him. I don't think so. I mean, besides the top 4 or 5, I mean, I guess maybe Leon Edwards, maybe probably. I mean, I don't know. I just don't.
It would have been a good fight.
I don't know. But he had some good fights. He could have stayed. He could have stayed in the UFC, but obviously him in the UFC, whatever. Wow. Moving on. So, anyways, this fight is supposed to be a pretty good fight. If we were to look at the last fight, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of things going on. What I will say, in my personal opinion, I am going to speak against what the popular opinion is. I think Kamaru Usman is going to knock him out early. And I think the reason why is because Colby Covington, while Colby Covington's style is very engaging and is very in front. And what's happening with Kamaru Usman is that Kamaru Usman has been knocking people out ever since he left his camp and went over there with Trevor Whitman. And let's be clear, Trevor Whitman turned Justin Gaethje into
Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Gaethje was always this kind of insane, almost like a Sean Strickland type. He was Sean Strickland before Sean Strickland, loved the chaos, loved to mix it up, whatever. And he was losing fights. And then he went over to Trevor Whitman. And then all of a sudden, you see him now piecing up and outstriking freaking Tony Ferguson. Yeah,
he was like a bigger Cody Garbrandt. Just if you can get me to engage, I'm going to engage. And that's how this shit going to go. Rather than, we can engage until, now let me win.
So I think
let me try to win.
So I honestly believe this fight will be over in maybe the first or second round. I believe that Colby Covington is going to engage him. Is going to be similar tactics. I think Colby may try him on the ground. I don't think that will be smart. I think that I think Colby will try to engage him on the ground just because I think he's going to try to employ his like put pressure on him strategy.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to put himself in a position to get knocked out. That's just my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with none of that. But I just don't think.
I mean,
it really doesn't. I just don't think like there's nothing to show us that Colby has improved drastically. And what we've seen is that once Kamaru got in that fight, or once he signed on to fight with Gilbert Burns, he left his camp and he went over to Trevor Whitman. And since then, that jab that he's always had has become lethal. And, you know, I mean, before he tagged Masvidal, he hit Masvidal a couple times. And like, one of the things I love about Masvidal is that Masvidal will acknowledge if you catch him. Like, he'll smile, he'll acknowledge it. I mean, you know, he just loves to fight. Like, he's just one of those dudes. He just loves to scrap or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. Him knocking out Masvidal, I really just don't see Colby. Like, I think we just need to make the Leon Edwards fight happen already.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It seems like his trainer or his manager wants him to move up. He probably shouldn't, because one thing I tell you he can't do. He can't beat that other Nigerian up there. I'll tell you what. He can't do that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see this man try to get inside this man's guard to wrestle.
Who? Colby?
No, I'm talking about the were you talking about Kamaru fighting Adesanya, or you talking about,
I was.
I'm saying it'd be interesting.
Well, he's already said that he's not gonna do it. He said he'll never do it, but
it doesn't make sense for him to do, man. It's like that's something that someone started a while ago that was cool, that they try to get more people to do it, but it's really unnecessary. If you get that belt in your division
and you hold it,
stay in your division.
And you hold it for like forever. Like,
I stay in that division till I can't make the weight. Straight up, bro. I'll stay in it till I cannot make the weight.
Yeah, and then retire.
I don't need new challenges.
I think Valentina Shevchenko is kind of proven that you don't really have to do that. Like, as much as they do as much as like, you know, the Man Nunez fight is there, Valentina don't care about that.
No, she does.
I was watching a Joe Rogan interview, and she's like, "Hey, when she wants to fight me, she can. I'm out here just beating the shit out of everybody else."
Yeah.
Though, so,
she wants that fight. The person who doesn't want the fight is Amanda Nunez.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, she don't want the fight, but she wanted. Like, she just refused to actively campaign for the fight.
It's funny watching her. It's funny her watching her Rogan interview. It's like, I think she's not that. I think she's just a bigger girl, and I was like, I mean, well, she is, but
yeah, I mean, that's all it was, man. That's all it was, because
I would say that's all that was, bro.
Bro,
I would say that's all it was. Listen, she beat Jermaine. Jermaine is the best striker in that division. She beat Jermaine, and she beat Holly Holm.
Okay.
Two best strikers in that division.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with some bodyweight shit. Pound for pound, who's the better fighter?
Who?
Of those two women, Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunez. Pound for pound, who's the better fighter?
Oh, I mean, listen.
So all things being equal,
I don't think that nullifies my point.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying it to nullify your point. I'm just opening your mind up to that. Like, she said she's a bigger girl. I'm going off of their weight classes for a reason. Yeah. And we use pound for pound to throw the weight class shit out of the way. Pound for pound, she a better fighter. So that means all things being equal, she'd be the man you knew yet.
But I mean, that's argument. That is debatable, depending on what your preference is on fighting styles. I mean, obviously, if you like beautiful, perfect fighting, then Valentina Shevchenko is a fighter for you.
Yeah. If you like dancing, that's it right there. That bitch is out there dancing.
If you like poetry, emotion, then Valentina is the girl for you. But if you like, what does Amanda do now? Just playing. But if you like,
that bitch come out like a rapper, like she dropped bows on him. Like, it's classical music versus hip hop. It's like,
I think what it is with Amanda is
a lot of bass in them punches.
I think what it is Amanda, like, it's always power versus technique, right? And I think with whenever you look at power versus technique, it takes, like, all right, you look at Jan Blachowicz, right? Like, Jan Blachowicz versus Adesanya. If you go back and watch that fight, because I'm pretty sure you only watched it once. If you go back and watch that fight, you see that Jan nullified a lot of Adesanya's normal whatever. So, you know, at the end of the day, he's fought bigger dudes. I mean, what do you think Paulo Costa is? Like a bigger dude.
Yeah,
like Paulo Costa is pretty much a light heavyweight whenever they fought. Like he's fought bigger dudes.
But to that point, the light heavyweight he fought wasn't a light heavyweight when they fought. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's tens of pounds of power in between.
100%.
In between Amanda Nunes and Shevchenko.
No, 100%. But back to my point is that oftentimes when you look at the power fighter, there's technique in being a power striker because you have to be precise. You can't just throw crazy stuff because I mean against like real martial artists, you're gonna get your ass whipped. So when you're looking at Adesanya, right? Adesanya is, in my opinion, besides Shevchenko, probably the best striker in the UFC.
Yeah.
And the best striker in the UFC. Like everything he does, like I used to hate the fact that he'd do that lean back stuff because I felt like he'd get hit, but I started realizing that none of those shots were really landing clean and he was just drawing people into his web of whatever he got going on over there. So, but he didn't really do that with Jan. Jan kept it short, whatever. And I think there's a technique to power. And I'm just saying that Amanda Nunes has real technique. And a lot of what she was doing looked amazing. It's just that Valentina came afterwards and was like, well, that looks like a video game. So, so so I'll say this. Yeah, depending on your preferences, you'll go there. But anyways, back to Colby Covington versus Kamaru. At the end of the day, my official prediction, I think that this is not going to be a long fight. I believe Kamaru is going to knock him out in the second round. That's my personal opinion. I'm more so wondering what's going to happen next. Is Colby loses? Is he going to retire, go to WWE? Is he going to move up? Is he going to move down? If he loses again, especially if he gets knocked out, this is pretty much done for the Kamaru thing, right? Like he can move up, or he can move down. If he moves up, God help him. If he ever meets Adesanya, I don't think he's going to do that. He can move down. I think he's small enough to move down. I think his natural weight is small enough to move down. Or he can go straight over to WWE and be like, I am a real American.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right in his division that he's in if he loses, because there's so many other people that want to punch that man in the face. And some of those people can't win. So, I mean, the money is there for him, bro. The money is there for Kobe.
The money is there for Kobe. I just don't think that Kobe wants to be champion deep down. And I think there's a lot of pride that comes with Kobe. And I think also as well for Kobe, what you have to think about it is this. Like, as much as we look at Kobe and as much as a lot of people look at Kobe and think he's just a big old, a doofus, right? If you look at Kobe, the kid obviously can fight. And listen, his style is not, it's not glamorous, right? It's not like, he's not doing Shevchenko type shit, right?
No.
But his look, Robbie Lawler has looked pretty good when he didn't fight Kobe. He's looked pretty good when, listen.
His output is just crazy, man. His output is crazy. He throws punches and kicks.
Crazy.
And you always got to be paying attention to that shit because those little shits add up.
If he loses to Kamaru, he gonna stick around. So you gonna fight with Wonder Boy?
Might as well.
Is that really gonna work?
Yeah, that'll work.
I don't think so,
bro. It would definitely work.
Styles make fight. I say Styles make fight. I don't think pressing. I guess he could take him down. I guess I always give Wonder Boy a lot of cash shit. He lost to Gilbert Burns. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be Gilbert Burns? Is he gonna be Gilbert Burns?
I don't know if he beats Gilbert Burns, but I would like to see him and Wonder Boy fight because it's two similar bodied guys. And one throws a lot of punches and kicks, and one is a karate guy. So it'll be more physical. It won't go to the ground. It won't be boring.
Kobe's definitely gonna put him on the ground.
Yeah, it won't be boring.
That's why I don't want to see that fight. He's definitely gonna try to put him on the ground.
And the build up to that fight would be amazing too.
Oh, we'll see. I just think I don't know. But that is what's the most interesting about the fight, in my opinion. I think that Kamaru has improved. Unless Kobe's had a lot of time to not fight, so who knows what he's done? Maybe he has a whole inner ring of just whatever. But I feel like with his output, the style in which he fights. He was able to fight that style against Kamaru the first time because Kamaru's hands were kind of rudimentary. Yeah. Now that Kamaru done got some finishes and he's gonna put his weight into punches and he's finished some dudes.
Not even fighting the same guy.
You know what I mean? Like, and the one guy he fought was a striker, a volume striker at that, a volume striker at that, and he knocked him out. And I'll be honest, Colby versus Masvidal, like, Masvidal, in my opinion, Masvidal will. So that's the one fight they can do. They can do Colby versus Masvidal, and I don't think Colby gonna take it.
Yeah, and that right there, and that would be a great.
They can do an Ultimate Fighter, get that check. They can do an Ultimate Fighter.
Two MAGA dudes in the ring at the same time, bro.
Dusting each other.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. You got the original MAGA, and then you got the immigrant style MAGA. So it's two different beliefs of the same. It's two different areas of the same belief system. Come on, bro. That'd be an interesting ass build up for that fight.
But I mean,
and Colby Covington. Wow.
Colby Ku Klux Covington.
Colby Ku Klux Covington. We're getting Street Jesus. The only fight where we don't care if Jesus wins or not.
But anyways, I'm moving forward. I think that concludes my round, or round two. Ding ding.
Round two. Bang.